We're live! Yay!
Yay!
Hello to nobody, because nobody's here. But yes, hi, hello. We're here. It's myself and Ashley today. Avery has prior engagements because it was her birthday last week. It was my birthday too, but she's doing stuff this week with her family. So
Exactly. But she's here in spirit.
Okay.
All right, hold on. I'm just sending this to Instagram. Give me 1 second.
That's totally fine. I'm going to open up our live stream, just make sure it's working. It's working. Hey, we already have 2 likes.
Oh, yay.
We love to see it. Hopefully, as people roll in, this will be a good thing to, it'll be good. I'm just going to eat my salad for a second.
Yep. Yes. I'm sorry if you hear that. My cat has decided to like yowl across the entire house today. So
I can't hear that at all. I'm sorry if you can hear me crunching my salad.
It's not too loud.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, we are here because we read You Had Me at Hola by Alexis Daria. I forget how to do live streams.
I know. I feel like it's been a while, even though it's only been like a month. And I did a live stream between then too, so you think it wouldn't have been as bad. But anyways.
Oh, it's been so long.
Right.
Well, a lot of stuff has happened, right? Like you've gone back to school. I've gone back to school.
A lot's been going on. It's been a busy month, I feel like.
Oh God. And it's only the 12th of September.
Yeah.
It's been a month.
Oh. Yeah. It's been a month. I don't know. I feel like everyone else. Do you agree with me? August was interesting, I feel like. I'm glad August is over, and I'm ready for September and even more so October. So
you guys start school in August, right?
Yeah, so we went back to school work for me, but in August. So we went back August like 4th. So
that's so early. Why is that a thing? You're also done early. You're done in like May.
I know. I don't know. They switched to that like years ago, and I don't know why. But yeah. So what you been up to? You want to share high or low for the month? Sometimes we start off with that just to talk about what we've been up to.
Mm-hmm. And what we've been reading.
And what we've been reading. This is about books.
For August, what's a high? I guess like writing wise, I finished a lot of projects, but like
okay,
kind of there. Like if the viewers are familiar with my channel, I finished Project Dark, the draft, and sent it to my friends to read.
Awesome.
And I got feedback from one of my friends, which was terrifying, but it's fine.
Was it good feedback though?
Pretty good. Like she's really good at giving feedback. Like she gives like really constructive criticism and like all positively angled. So it was a good chat. But
and I would think people want like constructive stuff, you know.
Oh yeah.
That's what, you know.
You gotta make it better.
Yeah. Right. I feel like are you like really careful with who you send it to? Because I feel like there are certain people, if I sent something to, I would get like critiques, and some people they would just say, it's amazing.
Oh yeah. No, my 3 friends have been bugging me since like 2019 to send me the manuscript because I just kept talking about it, and I'd been working on it for 5 years.
Oh my God.
And I've rewritten it now 3 times, like completely. And they're like, just send it to us so we can tell you if it's good or not. And I'm like, but it's not good in my brain. Yeah. And there's not really a low. Another high was my birthday on the 6th.
Yes.
Birthday.
Yeah. Did you have a good birthday?
Yeah, it was lovely. Didn't do a whole lot, but it was nice.
I feel like a lot of us are having quieter birthdays this year, just COVID and everything.
I mean, I usually have pretty quiet birthdays, so not a huge thing, but yeah.
I get that, but yeah.
And then today I went out and hung out in the park with my friends for my birthday, and I'm just realizing how burnt I am.
Oh no!
The sun was really hot, and I'm just like, I looked at myself in the mirror when I got home. I was like, oh my God, I'm so burnt. Because it went from like really hot, like, oh, what would that be in American? Like 80 something in the sun
Yeah.
to like 30 in the shade. It was like 20. Like we were sweating when we first got there, but by the end, my friend had like 3 coats on because it was cold.
Oh my
So I didn't
gosh.
even realize that I would be burnt, but I'm
Yeah.
burnt.
What's your weather like right now out there? Is it like nice or is it?
It's nice right now. We had like a weird, as soon as September started, like last week of August, we had a bunch of rainstorms. And then first week
Oh,
of September, we had like cool, crisp fall weather. And we're like, yeah, let's like, this is
yeah.
amazing. Usually September is still in the high 30 Celsius for us. And then
Yeah.
like at night, it's really cold, like, cause just
Okay, so it has
fall.
like a jump.
Yeah. So right now it's kind of hovering around that like still 20, but it's cold at like in the afternoon. It's my favorite. It's my favorite. You can't dress for it at all. You sweat or you freeze. Like there's no
Yeah.
between.
That's what I call wrap and peel weather. You like wrap up and then you have to like be able to take things off as it gets like
Layers.
warmer.
Oh, Maya's here. Hello, Maya. Thank you for joining. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I would love to be cold. Texas is horrible right now. Well, just come to Canada when COVID's not
That's
here.
where Avery lives too.
Yeah, Avery lives in Texas and she just dies the whole summer.
Yeah, it's hot. I grew up in Florida, so I feel like I can kind of sympathize with you because we didn't always have quite as high of temperatures,
It's the
but
humidity.
it's the humidity. Like I don't know what's worse.
Kills you.
So bad.
Because we, like a lot of people don't realize, but I live in the prairies, which is in a lot of people's heads, like the prairies would be dry, right?
Yeah.
It is not. We are very humid in the summer, which doesn't make any sense because like it's farmland.
I for sure would have thought it would have been dry.
Yeah, prairies. You think dryness. No.
Yeah. But yeah, I live in Georgia now, and it's starting to get a little cooler, and by cooler I mean like not 90.
Like more like 80, 70.
Yeah. It's more like 80.
Reasonable weather.
It's like 80 in the day, and then it's at like 70 at night. It doesn't drop much though. But this is like how much I'm ready for fall. I was checking the weather, we look like the week ahead on your app. And I'm like, oh, it's going to be in like the 70s this week with like a 60 low. And I'm like, I'm pulling out the sweaters. Lightweight.
Yes.
Don't worry, people.
Oh my God. That's because like here, as you guys know, we go from like the extremes of being in like the 30s for us, which is like I want to say high 80s, 90s.
Yeah, I think it's like
87, don't know.
Yeah,
something. We go from that in the summer to full humidity, whatever, to minus 40 in the winter. So we have the full range. We are the full range.
I think here, like, it does get really nice weather in the fall, but it usually takes until like October 1st.
See, that's
like
nice,
around October
though.
1st. Yeah, we get nice weather. It's so funny. My family's coming to visit, and they like push their visit for like a week back because they were supposed to come the first week of October, and they're like, well, we just want to really make sure it's like cool there. So I'm like, well, great. You don't want to see me, you see the cold weather. So
makes sense. See, this is us, but with summer clothes.
Yeah. See, I totally get that.
We get summer for like maybe a little bit of May, mostly June, July, and then August is too hot to even go outside. And then September we go back to cold again. So
it's so funny. But you guys have like air conditioners, right?
Yeah. We have air cons no matter where we are. Yeah. I mean, but there are like older neighborhoods in the city that don't. Okay. Which I feel so bad for them because our summers are hot no matter what.
Well, because I know a lot of places in different parts maybe of Canada and also like in Europe and stuff, or even up in like the northern parts of the States, they die when they get a heat wave because they don't have air conditioner.
Like, so weird. So, like, install an air conditioner, guys. They're very useful.
Well, like a friend lives up there, and she's like, well, if you have like a week or two of that for the whole year, so cost wise, it's not like effective. Anyways, off that. So what are you currently reading?
That's a great question. I have one of my books with me. I have one of my books with me. What am I currently reading? Currently reading The House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune, which has been blowing up the internet.
Yeah.
And what's the other one?
How
I
is that
started
so
reading Falling Kingdoms the other day or yesterday, which is like okay so far. The House in the Cerulean Sea is like an injection of endorphins. It's
far? Okay.
so cute and like it's like marketed like middle grade for adults. It's so good so far. I'm not very
Yeah,
far in, but it's just
good.
so sweet. I love it. Like I'm just reading it and I'm like, this is so cute. I just love it so much. Oh, I love it.
I
Anyways, what are
it's
your
not my
highs and lows?
typical thing. Yeah, it's not my typical book, but like it's been blowing up everywhere. So
Yeah,
I feel like I may end up picking it up eventually just to
because I
see
think it's
what it's about.
not super high fantasy, right? Like, because it
Yeah, I don't
deals with, um, like, there's this caseworker. His name is Linus. One of them's named Linus. One of them's named Arthur. I don't remember which one. I think it's Linus. Linus Baker. Yeah, he at the beginning of this, he works for caseworkers, and he works like as a person who goes and makes sure orphanages for magical kids are like being run properly.
okay.
And one day he gets called up to the uppers because he's been in this position for 15 years, which is unheard of. And like he does his work meticulously, but he doesn't go any further. Like he doesn't think about the kids after the fact.
Okay.
So he gets called in to these upper management people, and they're like, "We're going to send you to this orphanage because they have not been filling out the reports properly, and we need to make sure
Uh-oh.
that they're doing okay because this is like a super highly like secret orphanage
Mhm.
because they have like the wildest kids there. Like they have a kid named Lucy. His name is Lucifer. He's the Antichrist. He's 6 years old and he's so cute. Like,
Oh my
they
gosh.
have like magical kids at this orphanage. So he goes to this like really remote island where this orphanage is, and he's supposed to be there for a month to like do all the casework stuff. So it's cute so far. And apparently he falls in love with the orphanage caretaker and
Oh.
it's cute and just super sweet. So
I feel like you're really selling this to me right now.
yeah, like people have said it's like middle grade for adults. So I'm into it.
Yeah,
I
I don't
am.
really, hello. I don't really read middle grade. I mean, and
I
so
love middle
I know,
grade.
I know you, and I need to try some. Um, I feel like I haven't read middle grade since I was in middle grade. So
But it's like it's for adults. Like
yeah,
it was a
yeah. Well, maybe
$36 hardback, so I know it's very much for adults.
yes.
It's shelved in the
Yeah.
fantasy section, but
I think I heard someone say the audiobook was good too, so maybe I'll try and
yeah.
do it that way. Who knows?
Mm.
Cool. Well, let's see. Hi for me. So my birthday was in August too. We
Yeah.
all have birthdays that are super, well, hers is in September, but close together.
Avery and mine are like 2 days apart. It's fun.
Yeah. And mine's like the end of August.
Mm.
So it was really fun. One of my best friends came to town and we just had a really fun weekend. And that was just really nice to kind of, and work had been a little bit stressful. So I feel like we all needed a little,
A little
just
time off.
chill, you know?
Yeah.
So that was really fun. I don't know what a low was. I'm kind of same as you. I mean, I don't know. Nothing bad. I mean, work's been a little stressful, but it's just I feel like
Back to school, right?
I feel like every day is something new, something different. Hi. So anyways, but yeah, nothing too bad. Just I don't know. I feel like I'm so tired though. I haven't been reading. That's a low. I haven't been reading as much. Like I just I'm listening to more audiobooks, but if it's like, and I've been reading okay on my Kindle, but physical books, I am taking eons for me because I'm a pretty fast reader typically. And it's taken me like a week and a half to finish a book. So
Yeah.
I'm on
It's hard to like once because we've been like on the news the other day it said it's been officially 6 months since it was declared a global pandemic. So like we've been out of everything for 6 months and now everything's going back, especially for us because we deal with kids, right? Like you're a teacher, I'm a
it's
piano
a
teacher.
lot.
We've been out of it for 6 months. Like
Yeah. And I think it's everything at once, you know, but anyway, so I am reading, I guess 2 things technically. I'm reading Legendary. I took the cover off because it's over there. But by Stephanie Garber, and which is book 2.
Is that one of the last ones?
So there's 3. So there's Legendary, and then Finale.
I think I saw Legendary at the bookstore the other day. I was like, what is that part of? It's like it's next to Caraval and Finale, and I'm like, what is it a part of?
Here's the cover.
I forgot completely. Yes,
Here it is.
Legendary is the second one. No one ever talks about Legendary.
Very pretty.
Everyone's always talking about Caraval or Finale.
Yeah. But I feel like I'm hoping it doesn't have second book syndrome, but I'm buddy reading it with a couple of friends, and so far I'm behind. So I actually just got the audiobook for it because
it helps so much.
I needed to like just help myself out a little bit. And the audiobook's really good. It's got like music and stuff in it. Not like in it, but like at the beginning and stuff.
Yeah. I feel you, Maya. Time is a construct. Yeah. We don't even know what months we're in anymore.
No. I either feel like I'm in June, or I feel like I'm like, can it be Christmas already?
Is it not still May? Like,
no.
2020's gone by so fast. I don't love it. But yeah.
And it's so weird. But yeah, so Legendary is really good so far. I'm like, I don't know, 12, 13 chapters in. And I'm liking it. So if anyone's read,
yeah, because I'm like this. I've heard so many mixed things, and it's not something that I'm super into. Like, I don't really love circuses in books. Like, I liked The Night Circus, but not as much as everybody else has who loves it.
It's interesting. I had kind of had it on the back burner. Like, it wasn't, I love reading a fantasy or a YA fantasy. That's mostly the only kind of YA I read typically. But I just hadn't, like, it wasn't on my top radar, but a friend of mine was like, hey, I really want to read this. And I kind of just on a whim had bought it at the bookstore like a couple weeks before that. So I'm like, okay, we should read this. Like, I just really wanted something magical to kind of take me away. I feel like whenever I get stressed, I'm like, I need a fantasy because it's not rooted here in reality and stuff.
That's why it's my favorite genre.
Yeah, I feel like we're all the same in that. But I think I'm in the camp of loving it. I really loved the first one. I gave it 5 stars.
You gotta go into something like this, like with like really low expectations, right? Because it's a YA fantasy that has a romance at the center of it, right? Like if you go in expecting a high fantasy for a YA, you're gonna be very disappointed.
For sure. I think if you're like me, like if anyone knows, like I love a good romance, like in my fantasy books, like I love fantasy romance as a subgenre, then I think you'll like it. Like, I think you'll be good. It's very magical. It's very mystical. And I really enjoyed it. But I also didn't know very much about it. Like, I didn't even read the back of the book, like, you know, the stuff. So I think if you go in like Jen said with that, I think you'll be good.
Yeah. Like, it's like
thinking it's going to be, you know, like a really high fantasy and stuff like that. It's more about like the people and this circus type stuff. So anyways, I liked it. Hopefully everyone else, you know, people don't.
It's kind of like, I went into Sarah J. Maas's first book, A Court of Thorns and Roses. I think I went in not realizing how much romance was in it. Yeah. And that really turned me off. And also I'm not a fan of Sarah J. Maas's writing itself, but I went into that one thinking it was something different and I was disappointed. But then I went into something like Serpent and Dove, knowing it had a romance at the center and being like knowing not to expect a whole lot, and I loved it. Like, I went in just for the enjoyment factor.
To read, because I feel like people have told me like, okay, if you want a good like romance in a YA fantasy, don't go
for the witchy world building because it's not good. But go for the romance because it's kind of fun.
Right.
Yeah. It's just enjoyment factor. It's not a good book, but you enjoy it a lot.
Right. It's like candy, right?
Book candy. That's what it is.
And then I'm also reading, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it on here. Oh, yeah.
Hold on. The Night Circus is so different from that. The only similarities are the circuses. And that's not even the same thing. Because the Night Circus is so... The Night Circus, like, because The Starless Sea is my favorite book of all time by Erin Morgenstern. And I read that before I read The Night Circus, which is my friend's favorite book of all time. So I was like, okay, great. I'm looking forward to this because I love the magical aspect of even just Erin Morgenstern's writing.
Yeah.
But like hearing The Night Circus compared to Caraval, no. The only similarities is the circus and the romance in it. Like, that's it.
Like the writing in Caraval, but it's not for everyone. Like
it's more YA simplistic, right? Because The Night Circus, Erin Morgenstern's writing is flowery as hell.
I did think it was a little flowery. Like, I'm not gonna
Really?
lie, because
Maybe. I haven't read it, so I can't tell you.
Usually I don't like flowery, purpley writing. Like, I don't love it. It's not my thing. I'm like, can we get to the dang point? Like, come on.
There is no. The point
Like,
is the floweriness.
it's my opinion. Like, I know there's some people who love that, and that's awesome. But I actually, because when I first started reading the first one, I'm like, oh no. Oh no. Like, but I felt like it really worked for the book because it was kind of magical, and it wouldn't have been described the same way if it hadn't had that. I don't know. You should read it, Jen, and let me know what you think.
I will eventually.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I think I included Caraval in like one of my recent videos that was talking about series I'll never finish, or popular books that I won't ever read.
Yeah.
But it was one of those things that, like, I think I said, I'm like, I don't think I'll ever actually seek this out. Yeah. I would read it for a video, like the entire trilogy, just as a video to see.
I feel like you need to compare. Like, I don't know. I feel bad saying that, but you could compare the two, like that.
And also, the Night Circus is not YA. The Night Circus is adults.
And I'm sure the authors. Yeah, I'm sure the authors too don't. Like, she didn't go out writing it thinking like, oh, this is going to be like the Night Circus. Like, you know what I mean? So anyways, I liked it. The other one I'm reading is Meeting the Huntress by Talia Hibbert. I don't know if you can see this.
We love Talia Hibbert.
Cover. I just started it though, so I haven't gotten far. It's a novella, and I'll let you know what it is. And I was just really in the mood for paranormal. I think it's because it's like fall. I'm all about the fantasy and the paranormal right now. And I heard some good things about me. We all love Talia Hibbert here. We love her. Chloe and Danny. And so I wanted to read some of her other stuff. And this was a novella. It's not very long. It's like 150 pages. And it's like, I think she's like a hunter and he's like a werewolf. And they fall in love. So
my opinion is out on whether I like werewolves or vampires more or less, because I don't love vampires, but then I love like Dracula vampires.
Yeah.
Oh
yes.
Same. Oh my god, I read Talia Hibbert's tweet. It's like an autistic romance, I think. I might be wrong. Let me pull it up.
I read the synopsis and it sounds amazing. And
oh my god, I'm so excited.
I did see it's on NetGalley. I'm not sure if I'm gonna request it or not, just because I'm not sure if I would get approved. But I guess it wouldn't hurt to try.
So it says like her pinned tweet on her Twitter is, it's an enemies falling in love while running a bed and breakfast. A grumpy, uptight hero and a chaotic sunshine heroine, which is like one of my favorite tropes.
Yes.
Rogue ducks, aka the scourge of the English countryside, which I don't know what that is, but I love it. And then the last one is autistic romance. And someone asked, does that mean that both of them are? And she said, both of them are autistic. And I'm so excited.
That's amazing.
Because that was one of the things in Downie Brown that we missed, because Chloe Brown has the illness rep, right? The chronic illness rep. But then Downie Brown doesn't really have anything.
Well, I guess Raph is dealing with his
mental health, I guess.
Mental health. So I guess maybe that's
right. That's right. Okay. That would be it then.
Yeah. But yeah. I'm very excited for Eve's story, and I will let you know. I've heard all of her.
We will be reading it for this. But speaking of books, this one we read, the one that you're actually here for, that we've been talking for 20 minutes. We haven't even mentioned the book.
Yeah, so we read You Had Me at Hola by Alexis Daria, which has, I think, the most stunning cover of the year. I'm just calling it. At least up there, the most stunning.
It's so pretty. The illustration, who did it? Cover illustration by Bo Fang Lin.
Well, they did a fantastic job, because
how gorgeous is that?
So
anyways, this is a story about two telenovela stars. Well, I guess they're not really even telenovela stars, because don't remember her name. Jasmine. Wow, book retention memory is bad. Jasmine was a soap opera star, and then Ashton was a telenovela star, and they're coming together to do a show that's in the middle of the two, which is so fun. And it's them being the leading pair and they're falling in love. Like that's really it. That's really it.
That's pretty good synopsis. I mean, it was pretty straightforward, but also, yeah. So I guess we'll kind of talk briefly about what we kind of liked and what we didn't, and then we'll kind of get into some spoilers. So if you haven't read it, you're watching it back or anything,
we'll let you know.
Yeah, you should probably just maybe go. I mean, I don't personally mind being spoiled for things, but I know a lot of people do. So, but
just general thoughts.
Yeah. So, I mean, general thoughts for me was it was really enjoyable. I gave it 4 stars. I didn't think it quite got 5 for me. There were just things that I thought it was missing, but it was still really enjoyable. Especially, I think if someone maybe wants to again, this is another one. I think if you want to get into a romance, this might be a good place to go just because it was lighter. Like there was definitely some topics covered, but it wasn't anything like heavy. It was kind of, I don't want to use the word fluffy, but it was, enjoyable. It wasn't hard.
It's somewhere in between like Chloe Brown's chronic illness, anxiety thoughts and like beach read.
Yeah.
Then the Tom Hanks one that I can't remember the title of that we read. That was just pure fluff. Yes.
Yeah.
Pure fluff.
Yeah.
It's somewhere in the between.
Yeah.
Kind of around like Meet Cute that we read. If you've been with us that long.
I thought it was I loved, so I guess we'll go with things I loved. I loved that, and then Jen, jump in when you want to say what you loved. I really liked, obviously I love that it's a more diverse group of people.
I don't think there was a single white person in this book.
No. Sandy, that is the word I've been looking for. Thank you.
Yes, readable. That's very true. It was very readable.
Super, super readable. But yeah, I love that there were so many different people of different, cultures. I love that there was, a
non-binary person right at the beginning. That was great.
Yep. They were.
I just wish they were actually someone of, like, instead of just an assistant that had like 2 lines. But still.
Right. I just think it was. I don't know. It was so seamlessly done too, and I think that's what it needs to be.
Yeah. It was normal.
It's completely normal, which is what it is for a lot of us in our lives. So I loved that, and I love that they were the 2 main characters, and I think their families were shining points for me. I loved both Jasmine and Ashton's families, his in Puerto Rico and then hers in New York. The cousins, I'm like crossing my fingers they get books. Because was it Ava and Michelle? Her cousins were really, really funny.
Yes, there was a trans character. It was one of the dance teachers was trans as well. I forgot about him. And then we had representation. Yes.
I think that's it was so well done. And I think that needs to be applauded personally.
Oh yeah. It was incredible. Like I remember sitting there thinking, I think we got to like the award, one of the award scenes later on. Or it wasn't even an award. It was just like a night out that they had. And I was just thinking about it. I'm like, there's not a single white person in this book. And I love it. Like, this is so good.
Yeah, I thought it was so well done. And I also really liked the characters. I thought Jasmine and Ashton were good characters overall. I mean, I thought they were relatable. And sometimes I think when I read a book with an actor or an actress or someone famous, they can be a little like hard to empathize with someone who seems so.
Yeah. And I think, I don't know if you get this either, but if you have someone who's in a famous position, you automatically put like a stereotype of person onto them.
Yeah.
Like going into this, I thought Ashton was going to be the bad boy player. And she was going to be like the super like Angelina Jolie type person.
Yeah.
I'm like
diva.
I was wrong on both sides.
Yeah. They were great. And I think that was awesome seeing from both perspectives. I thought that was really great. And the story was fun. I love that they were kind of not underdogs, but they were actors who were working for what they were getting. They weren't.
Because they're like sort of famous. Like people know them from telenovelas. But
yeah. And her from her famous breakup, which I just love that part. It highlighted a lot of things that I thought were good to touch on, like, you know, obviously representation in movies and TVs and things like that. Also, like the media and how you can get blown up just from who you're dating rather than anything else that you contributed to society. But I thought I had some really good messages in it.
It was a very predictable plot. Which is fine in a romance because you know that you're going to have them like meet each other. There's going to be some like tension at the beginning, and then they're going to get together, and then at the end there's going to be a big blow up because of something, and then they're going to get back together. Like that's like the formula of a romance novel. And I found with this one that it had all the subplots laid out really well, but then like I found the media thing, I think that could have been like the only issue in the whole thing, but it wasn't even really that big because the music star was a big person, but like Ashton had never heard of him. So he was like, okay, cool. And like the media was kind of there, but it wasn't like this big blockbuster thing. I don't know. There's a lot of things in this book that I think could have been done better.
Yeah, I mean, I think things I liked about the book, there were some that I mean, obviously I gave it 4 stars. I know, Jen, you gave it what?
I think I gave it 3 or 3.5.
I think too, like we all know, like you said, I don't mind some predictability in a romance because to me it's more about how you get there. It's the adventure, it's the characters. But I felt like you said, it was really predictable. And okay, spoilers. So if anyone doesn't want to be spoiled, bye.
We're just gonna dive head into it.
But I think him having the kiddo, his son, it's not that I minded him having him. I thought he would have been an absolutely wonderful character. I don't think it should have been this whole
we love him. He's such a sweetheart. I loved that aspect of it. And I like the fact that it's not advertised on the back. So that you don't know about it going in. But from the word go, when we heard about Yadiel, I was sitting there, I was like, please don't let this kid be the reason that they fall out. Do not let this kid. And then it is the reason because she's just angry that he didn't tell her about his family. And I'm like, you have no right to be angry about this. Like you can be a little miffed or whatever, but you get over it fast because this is his family. It's his choice to protect them from the limelight. Like, you've been together for 2 weeks. He's not going to tell you that.
I agree.
The timeline was a little weird.
I think that I think I said this to you, one of the voice notes that I sent. I wanted more angst. Like I'm not someone who's typically I have angst, but I was like, I need more drama.
Oh my God. Like the whole, like the scene where they get together for the first time, but like, he's like, no, we're not having like actual sex. Then 2 pages later, he's like, let's have sex. I'm like, no.
There wasn't.
That was bad plotting on your part. That's too fast.
I wanted more. Like, it's not that I want them to suffer, but I kind of want them to
I wanted more drama. We went into
drama. And it's not because
telenovela. Telenovelas. Have you watched Jane the Virgin?
I love Jane the Virgin.
The amount of drama in that show that isn't like technically an actual telenovela. But it's based off of like her dad is a telenovela star, right? So it has those elements in it. I was expecting so much drama, but this was so like bland? Is that the word to say?
With like a little blip.
The occasional, like, oh, okay.
I liked it a lot. And like, that's why I think it is readable. If you just want to sit down, have a beach read, you just want to read a good book, it's a good book. But I think like I would for sure read something else from this author. I would just hope that I wanted some more drama. I think, like you said, they could have taken the musician, like the breakup or the media, they could have brought that in more. You could have done that, and that
bring him back into the picture. Make him somebody who's a little bit less of a typical flake.
Make him a villain of some kind.
Make him that like figure, like, we had it in the Tom Hanks book, Waiting for Tom Hanks, but like the fact that you have the man before the man that you get with, like it's the whole Monica and Richard and Monica and Chandler. Right? You have the man that's the almost man.
Yeah.
That is one of my favorite tropes to bring into rom-coms, because it's like they realize that like you could easily settle for this man and you would be happy, but like that next man is the one.
Because it
like,
makes the hero look even, like you see the difference between the two.
Because like all we got of him was like the side of the media and Jasmine's side where we just get this one dimension for him. And I think he could have been such an interesting character if they brought him into the story.
Yeah. And also I also really would have loved to have seen more about her family in the way that they weren't really super supportive, her parents especially. I think that like broke my heart, but I think I would have liked for it to have been broken more. Like
because we were told about it, but we weren't shown it. Because even when they were in the picture, Ashton, it was like right near the end, and Ashton was like, she's amazing, and they're like, yeah, she really is. And it's like,
yeah, it was more like it was shown in the past, but not in the present necessarily as much.
I think after reading it and being so confused, because I was like, that was fun, but like there's something missing. I think after even you said like, there's something missing, but I don't know what it is. I think there's just a lack of depth in this book. Even though like I feel like we didn't get to know the characters at all, even though we did. Like, and it's not that we didn't get to know the characters. It's there's something in there that's missing.
Yeah.
We get the books we've had. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
I think for me, it was the angst. It was the drama. Like, I think if we had taken these same characters, which were really well-developed characters.
Yeah, they were great.
And I like the families. Like, I think if we taken that, I like the set. I love that it was on a movie set. I will say also, I think I said this to you, I didn't love the clips of the show. Like,
I really liked them.
See, we differ on that one.
I understand that you think that it was taking away from the romance storyline because it was. I think it was used because we didn't get to see Ashton and Jasmine really fall for each other. We just saw the feelings and then the culmination. Like we didn't see that tension on set.
Yeah.
And I think this like they were used to try and show that tension because they're playing characters who have been married before, right? So they have that tension, they have that flow. But I think it would have been really cool to not see the episodes as they are in this book, but to see them as they're being acted. Like we're still seeing Jasmine and Ashton. Yeah. We're seeing what they're doing and how they're feeling in the scene in the moment, not Carmen and what's his name? Like not their characters. Yeah, I think it could have been done or used a little bit better to build that tension or whatever. Because the angst, there was no angst.
I think I get what you're saying, and I completely do understand it. I think too, because you're a writer, you kind of see that kind of stuff more so than I do.
But I've studied books for so long that I'm just like, I know books.
Yeah. I like the idea of the scenes, like, that were being acted for the show. I think it's part of the, like you said, I would have rather have seen, Ashton and Jasmine having those issues than seeing the characters that were, I just kind of wanted to get back to Ashton and Jasmine.
Yeah, like if she really desperately wanted to include the episodes, I think it would have been interesting to see it like described as though like instead of it being described as a episode that we're watching, just have it described like that one scene where they have to choreograph the kiss.
Yeah.
If all of them were like that would have been fantastic.
Yeah, with the coach.
We see them growing as actors and you see them getting close and more familiar with each other. I think that would have worked a lot better in her.
I agree. Because I was super interested in the acting side of it. Like, I'm always interested. I know some people don't love that, but I like it when there's like a rock star or an actor and you get like to see behind the scenes type stuff.
It's kind of fun, yeah.
It's kind of fun. It's like watching like a backstage documentary or something. Yeah. So I like that. And I would have liked to have seen more of that. Like you said, like with was it called like the love coach or whatever, the chemistry, whatever her title was.
I think it was an intimacy something.
intimacy
yeah.
or something. I thought she was cool. Like I like seeing that part of it. So yeah, I think overall it was a good book. I just think I wish there was a little bit more angst and a little bit more drama, and maybe different drama than what we got, because I do think
and I think the plot needed a little bit of help, and I just yes, this would be amazing to get the intimacy coordinators romance. That'd be so great.
I don't know how you get into that field.
I don't know. That's great, but like, I wish we had more of the angst in the character stuff. But I also like the plotting was off, especially with Ashton's own personal issues.
Yeah.
Especially as I mentioned with the sex thing that happened so fast.
Yeah.
That should have been something that been drawn out to the end, because then it would have been more satisfying, of him actually like coming to trust her enough for something like that. But then like I'm so mad that Yadiel was the issue. I'm so mad that this poor 8-year-old was the issue. I hate that. Like as soon as I found out about Yadiel, I was like, if he's this issue, I'm gonna be so mad. And I think that's why I gave it like 3 stars. I was like, no, please don't make family issues
and
the issue.
I also think, like you said, when they were together for the first time, now it was steamy. I will give them that. Like those were some steamy scenes. I will, like, the writing wise, I thought it was well done.
It's not the best that I read, but it was good.
Right. But I also kind of was like, if someone had done that, like, to me, I think I would have been slightly more irritated than she was the first time, or at least wanted more of an explanation. Maybe that's a personal thing. I
would have wanted it beforehand, not during.
Right. And I don't know. There was something with that I just didn't, while it was steamy.
It was weird because it went from that to him in the shower thinking about it.
Yeah.
To the next scene, them actually having sex, even though he said he didn't want to have.
Yeah. He was very back and forth. And I mean, I guess you were supposed to think, oh, he's a guy, he just can't help himself.
Which is so stupid and wrong.
Didn't fit his character, I thought, because he was pretty, like, if he really was against something, I didn't see him doing it. You know what I mean?
was on board when he was like, it wasn't like, it was a heat of the moment thing, right? But then he was like, no, like, we're not going to do this.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that's fine. We're just going to have to deal with this for a bit. And then like 2 pages later, he's like, hey, never mind. I was like, what?
I think I just would have wanted some explanation, which I guess, did he give one? I guess he gave one. He just didn't want anything to happen.
I think it was that he doesn't sleep with his coworkers, right?
Yeah, that's what it was. Which I think that's a bit of a.
But you're also technically like being very intimate with her right now, anyway. So. That's the thing.
I get not being involved with a coworker, but I kind of think the line was back here. If that was,
I think it would have been better if we had removed the sex from the middle of the book completely and just had them build that tension of him completely refusing to be intimate with her at all, but just having those really steamy moments of like really steamy makeout sessions and then being all wound up about it afterwards, or even on set having like a kissing scene and being very wound up about it afterwards.
Like the tension.
That would have built the tension, built the angst, and then have that moment at the end. There's plotting issues with this one, or not plotting, pacing, because of
and I'm also like, just personally, I prefer, like, I love a big, like a slower burn with more tension and more like build up, and then having it be not even has to be at the end, but like, 3/4 of the way, and then like,
have it be explosive and then have them fall out right afterwards, because that's high drama. This would have actually brought in the telenovela drama more, right? Because then you have more tension, you have those drama makeout scenes, then you have them both in their introspective moments afterwards, like I will say though, some of my favorite scenes in this book, because they were just so cute, were the ones where they were like dancing in the grocery store, like yes, please give me that all the time.
I really liked that one. I really liked, I'm trying to think of my favorite scene. So I really liked some of the ones with the cousins. That's not not like the main couple, but I loved Michelle and Ava.
I want a book where we get this story retold, but like we have more familial aspects. Like it's more of a literary fiction novel where you have the family brought in, his family brought in, because his family seems really cool.
I know. I loved his dad. His dad was really well done.
And like I think a few times like his grandma was mentioned, but then she was just like not in the scene. And I was like, where'd she go?
In the scene, remember when she was in New York and she's like, I can't wear that to a party. And she was like, turns her better.
Like, there was a moment where she was like, yeah, we're coming to your office tomorrow. And then like only Yadiel and the grandfather showed up, not Ashton's grandparents. I was like, where'd they go? It's New York. Where else are they gonna go?
They were touristing, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I really liked the family. I liked the big party scene at the end, of course. It was very cute, I will say. That was a good he got himself
redeemed himself.
Somewhat. He got himself redeemed for that. With the two of them, I don't know. I did like I think Danny said the intimacy coach scene was really well. I really liked that scene. That was really good too. I mean, least favorite scene. I don't know if I had like one least favorite scene other than just the drama being about something we didn't drama being about. Yeah.
And then it wasn't only about Yadiel. Like it originally started with Yadiel, and then it went to like my least favorite thing, which is just miscommunication. Why is that even a thing? Because the fact that she was like, oh, he's just going to revert, so I'm going to revert and push him away. No, you talk about that.
Yeah. And it's all... Oh, go ahead.
He's in his 40s. Like, no.
And also with the, I forgot she did this when she was like mad at him and she's like, I'm not doing another season of this show. I don't care if it gets picked up. I'm like, girl, don't be stupid. Like,
that's not only your career, it's all these people's careers.
I mean, I know it was in the heat of the moment, and I don't think she would have actually gone through with that, obviously.
But I mean, she did. She called her agent, like, book me back on this show. And then her agent's like, no.
Like,
what's the matter?
Like, I know no one wants to, like, work with an ex, but you put on your big girl panties and move on. Like,
agreed.
Yeah.
And I hate it.
Often, man. And obviously, there is miscommunication in real life, like for sure. But not
misconstrued. Like if someone says something and it comes off the wrong way, that I understand. I also understand miscommunication in YA romances because they're kids.
Yeah,
they hear things wrong all the time.
Yeah,
adults, come on.
Here's the thing. What was I reading the other day? I'm trying to think of what it was because I was reading something and they had a miscommunication, but they were two adults and one of them what was it? And I just remember thinking, because they brought it up to each other and then they talked about it. And I'm like, that is how you solve that. You can still have it be a drama in some way or like some
part of that become a trope. Proper communication. Can we start that?
Jen, you need to put that in your book, okay?
Oh my God, proper communication. Let's do this.
Give me kind of tips on that.
A healthy relationship. We'd love to see it.
Love it.
Thank you. It does.
Yeah.
Because then the reader's just sitting there screaming about the fact that you could literally fix this in 2 seconds if you just talked about it.
Especially when it's something that I feel like most of us would do in real life. Like we would fix it, and most people that aren't 16 probably would. I mean, no one is. It's not going to be comfortable, but that's why everyone likes that.
We're adults. Like we. Maybe it's just because there's so many people out there who like don't know how to be proper people.
I mean,
like, like for some reason, apparently, my mom really likes Love Island now.
I love that.
And just watching Love Island, I'm sitting there like, this is the stupidest show because all these people are just beautiful people who don't know how to be proper humans.
That's
like they're like, I can sit there and I'm like, you are the like entertainment industry.
Yeah.
You are the popular kids in school. Like you're just, you don't get it.
Like The Bachelor or The Bachelorette though. Because as much as we're saying like this stuff is stupid and we don't want to see it, you're right. There
Yeah.
are people out there who that totally do. And I don't know if like, I always wonder, I'm like, is this like just beefed up for the shows, or are these people really this stupid?
You gotta wonder, like,
I've never watched Love Island though. I've only watched like The Bachelor.
it's funny to
Is
watch
it?
because like you're sitting there and you're like, wow, these people are so dumb.
Right. Right. And I just, the one I kind of want to watch, side tangent, is it called Love is Blind? I kind of want to watch
My friends watch that.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Just hearing what you hear, like the amount of like judgmental people coming off of that.
Mm,
Oh, because I think there was one where like I think the whole premise of Love is Blind is that they actually like get engaged without seeing each other,
mhm.
but they have talked to each other. Like they've
Yeah.
like intellectually connected. But like
Yeah.
I think there was one girl who like saw her whoever she was with, and she was like, he's too old, or like something stupid like that. I don't
Very
know. That would be a
superficial.
good one to watch.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna have
apparently
to watch that. I love the
there's
idea of finding,
yeah,
like, of falling in love with someone without seeing them. I mean,
yeah.
I think, of course, you have to at least find
Be
your
like kind of
partner
attracted to them.
attractive, but
I
I do
think
think if you fall in love with them first, I could see it.
you
You know,
will find them more attractive. It's
yeah,
like it's a thing that like the human brain, if you don't find somebody attractive, but then you get to know them, your brain will like rearrange their features to be more pleasant. Like
right.
it's crazy. And I know there's another show, and I can't remember what it's called, but it's like the premise is bringing people together who don't know how to be proper people, and like under the prospect of being like a dating show or whatever, but it's basically just to teach them how to be proper people. And I'm like, I love that. That kind of premise is perfect because we need
Yeah,
more people to be smart. Like,
absolutely.
oh.
Yeah. It's interesting though. I mean, it is interesting because I think also it goes the other way too. I mean, if you think
Oh,
someone's like so attractive and then you get to know them and they are complete
yeah.
douchebags,
Yeah.
they become a lot less attractive.
They become very ugly.
You know
Yeah.
what I
I think
mean?
it would be really cool to read about something like that in a book. I know there's
Yeah.
that book that was just released. One to watch?
Oh, I don't think I've read
Because I
that one
think
first, no.
who was it? It's Kaylin Abridged, Zoe.
Oh, I've seen
uh,
their live shows or like their things come up.
Yeah, I think they picked that as their previous one, and they
Oh,
were like
cool.
talking about it, and it's like a bachelorette type of thing where she's the bachelorette, but she's
Oh, one to
right?
watch. That's yes,
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah. Like it would be kind of cool to read something like that if it was done well enough, you know?
I was really interested too because it had like a plus size heroine on
Yeah.
a
And
dating
it's
show.
a plus size heroine, not only because dating shows are typically like, you think about it, and dating shows, who is still together after the dating show, right? Like
Very few
the
people.
timeline is not long enough for like to know if this person's being sincere or not. So
Yeah.
like that aspect is interesting to
Yeah.
bring that into a story, but I don't
Yeah.
know.
But yeah, I final note on this book is I did enjoy it.
Yeah.
There were things I think we would like to see maybe changed or made better, but I would read something else by this author. I know she's got a lot of books in her backlist, and I'd be interested to read something to see.
Yeah, maybe something that's not with famous people, because maybe that was the issue.
True. I mean,
the other ones are Take the Lead, Dance with Me, and Dance All Night. So
is that like Step Up, but not Step Up? Because I would read that.
it sounds like they're all in the same vein, though.
I really love a good dance movie. I'm just saying, like, judge me if you want to, people.
Yeah.
But
You
yeah.
heard mixed reviews?
I have too, Thanny.
I've only heard the one.
I try not to
let
it affect. Whoa.
That's fun.
I don't know. I might like that even better.
Yeah, that might be fun because, like, if it's Dancing with the Stars, but with like the stars and not the actual dancers, that'd be fun. Or the other way around, that'd be fun too.
Yeah, I'm really
find out.
All right, add that to the list.
Never-ending TBR.
I know it's never ending right now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm working my way through it. I've got like a fall one going on, so
that's good. Yeah, I gotta get through my fall one.
And I don't make like an official one because it just stresses me out, but I just put them on like a pile and I'm like trying to get through the pile. But
yeah, choosing 13 books for my August TBR or my September TBR, I'm regretting it a little bit.
ambitious. It's ambitious.
Yeah. September 12th, and I've read 4 books.
I mean, that's
which
not
is still great. But I'm like, 3 of them weren't
right
on
now,
my TBR.
Yeah, I said before, I'm reading super slow for me personally. So I'm getting through like maybe 2 books a week, more like 1, and then starting a second one, which is not bad by any means. I mean, I know that's normal for, a lot of folks.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I'm never getting through this pile of books.
It's growing.
I know. But I also have gotten distracted with some like Netflixing and stuff, to be fair.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just need to read or don't want to read.
It's fine. I just want to watch Gilmore Girls. That's all I want to do.
Yeah, I watched the last season of Lucifer last week. Was it last weekend or the week before that?
I think it was released, yeah.
Yeah, it was good. If anyone watches that show, season 5 was pretty good.
Is it like the last season? Are they not doing any more? Or
They just got, I think they just said 6. They just got picked for season 6, and I think that's going to be the last season.
Nice. Yeah, because there's some shows that like they have a time, they have like a limit for how long they can really go before they just start being weird. So,
well, there's some shows I think should have ended before.
Grey's Anatomy gone on for too long. Like, all the Grey's people are going to start attacking me. Listen,
I loved it for like
going for 13 seasons. There's only like 2 people who are still part of the original cast that are part of the show. Like, they need to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, if anyone has any good TV show recommendations, leave them here and I will come back and check this. Because I love a good TV show binge. I just started watching Grimm. But I mean, it's all done. It finished like a couple years ago.
Many years ago, yeah.
Huh?
Many years ago.
Yeah, like probably like 4 or 5 years ago.
That's another one that's gone on for too long.
Yes. I watched Supernatural like when it first came out. I was obsessed. And I watched it for like maybe like 6 years, like die hard. And then it just kind of
I never watched it. My friend did, but like as soon as I started having to take like stuff from like what fans were saying on like Tumblr and making that real, that's when you know you gotta shut it down. How long has it been going for? Like 14 seasons now or something?
I started watching that, I swear, when I was still in high school.
Man, there's some shows that like I feel like shows should just have a cap at like 7 years.
Yeah.
And then
7 or 8's a good number because I feel like you get a lot of like stuff. That's a lot of years.
The first 5 seasons are really great. There you go. See?
Yeah. I think I watched through season 5 or 6. I want to say, and then I just was like, "Oh, you love Grimm? Good. Is it worth to keep going?" Because I'm on episode like 5 and I am liking it in season 1, obviously. I'm really liking it. It's a little slow, but I get the feeling that they're just setting a lot up and it's going to kind of like take off because there's all these like, mystical or magical.
Yeah, you're really into the fantastical. You're Grimm, which is like werewolves and stuff.
I love a good supernatural show, man.
Yeah, that's amazing. Have you watched like, what are some of the old ones? Were you into Teen Wolf?
No, I never watched that one. Don't know why. It was like
my friend. I got into that because of my friend, and I watched until the seasons got more scary, like horror-y, and then I was like, I'm out. I can't do this.
Yeah, I don't do scary.
The stress palpitations every episode live on TV as they would come out every week with my mom, and mom was even like, I can't do this. I can't do it.
Oh, I'm really going to have to continue now. You're really making me want to finish or like continue because I thought it would. Like, I kind of had, obviously it's been on for years, so I kind of had seen bits of like the episodes when they were on TV, and they always seemed good, but obviously I had to go back and start at season 1.
Yeah, you have no idea what's going on.
And so I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to continue that. But yeah, I love supernatural stuff. I was obsessed with Charmed when that was on. If anyone else watched that.
Really watched any shows that were supernatural or anything. I think it was just Teen Wolf until like the 3rd or 4th season. I'm trying to think about it. I think I watched like a season of Vampire Diaries.
Oh, I was obsessed, like hardcore.
My friend was really obsessed with it, and she's like, "You have to watch it." And I was like, "Okay, cool." And I watched like the first season. And I was like, but then I found out that like, because I'm the kind of person that if you give me a love interest right at the beginning of the show, that's the one I will hold on to until the end. I'm the same with Gilmore Girls, like with Dean.
Yeah.
I like when I first watched the show, I latched on to Dean because Jared Padalecki. We love him. And like I watched the show for the first time a few years ago. And like now I watch the show and I'm like, Dean is too much. Like he needs to leave.
Yeah.
But I'm also like the kind of person now that I'm realizing I'm no longer attracted to the kids. I'm attracted to Luke and Max Medina. And I'm like, oh no, I've reached the age.
See, I was always a Logan person.
I have not met Logan yet.
Huh?
I have not met Logan yet.
Oh, you're watching for the first time?
I've watched the first season and a half like a few years ago, and then I stopped because of university. And then I tried to get back into it to rewatch it. Yeah, last year didn't get past the first season. So now I'm watching like new episodes.
Yeah.
And like we're like right now where I am, Rory is still with Dean, but she just got into the car accident with Jess. So yes, growing up is so weird. I don't like it.
You're gonna have to like update us on your Gilmore Girls watching because I really
love Gilmore Girls. I ordered a Luke's Diner sweater that should be here.
I love it. But yeah,
I'm so excited because I wanted a Luke's Diner. Oh my God, thank God I'm not the only one. Luke, I want to write a book that is Lorelai and Luke's love story, but like not with them, like with kids or whatever, just like a little bit different.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be my next like endeavor is to write about romance because like I feel like that would be fun. Write all the romance that I want out of these books.
Jen, I will read anything you write, and you should send it to me.
I think that might be my NaNoWriMo endeavor this year is to write a romance.
Yeah, I think that would be really cool. That's in November, right?
Yeah, because I've written like in my past lives in high school. The only other like romance I've written was like a YA contemporary, kind of like Sarah Dessen vibes.
Okay.
And everything else has just been fantasy. So I'm like, I should go back and like actually do romance because I have so many ideas for romancy and like different kind of vibes. But yeah, romance with like Luke.
Yeah.
And Lorelai.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You spoil it for me, but I'm still happy. That's such a good spoiler. I mean, like I've watched the trailer for Gilmore Girls: A Year in the Life, so like I know that.
Girl, why did you watch that? It spoils everything.
It's on my Netflix stream without me knowing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do it, Maya. Yes, you and me. Let's do this.
Yeah, you guys should. We always need. There's never not enough romance. Like I love it. I kind of want to rewatch Gilmore Girls. I watched it probably 3 times already when I was younger. That's what I mean. It's so like seasonal.
Even the winter and stuff. I'm just like so fall.
I just want to live there. Like I want somewhere
to start.
Yeah, they do the festivals. Like, I mean, there's even like the summer ones.
The middle grade that I like. I'm currently in the middle of writing.
Yeah.
I decided to go back in because this is the first draft that I wrote during Camp Nano in July, but I have to go back and like fix so much because writing a draft that fast is terrible. I'm like, this is going to be like set in a town like Stars Hollow. So now I'm just like using all the Stars Hollow influences. It's great.
I love it. I think that's part of the reason I like small town romances is because we haven't really read a small town one. But
find one. I think the one that we did that was most small town was Well Met.
Tom Hanks. Oh, Well Met. Yeah.
And Tom Hanks, yes, you're
Tom
right.
Hanks is very small. But like
It was interesting because it brought in the big city, right?
Mm-hmm.
Brought in the New York.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I think I like a small town.
Yeah. I could never live in a small town, but I like the vibes.
See, I think I would like to live in a small town.
You gotta have stuff to do. Like that. Maybe it's just because the small towns around me, like there's nothing to do in the small towns.
Yeah, but see, if you live in one, there's a festival every other week. You'd have something to do.
That's true. If I lived in Stark Hollow, I could just go eat at Luke's Diner every day. Like,
Yeah.
Hey, hello.
Oh, hi, Charles.
You made it.
But yeah, we all want to live in Stars Hollow.
Oh,
really? I just want to move to Massachusetts or Connecticut. It's Connecticut, right?
I don't know.
I think it's Connecticut because I think it's
Charles, you loved the book.
Oh, we liked the book.
We liked the book. There's a lot of issues with it. Like I gave it, I think I'm giving it like 3 stars, 3.5 stars. You give it 4.
Yeah, I give it 4 stars.
There's pacing issues. There's like we feel like there's something missing. Like
yeah, I feel like though now that we've talked, I think the thing missing for me was the needing more tension. Like
there's something. I think it's the pacing thing. If she had done the pacing better, it would have been like the tension would have been built in.
Mm-hmm.
Like me, Jen? Are you talking about me? Because I did enjoy it. It just wasn't my favorite.
Yeah. I feel like you've liked most of the ones we've read. At least I haven't hated any of them.
I think the only one that was like the lowest one on my list is no, it's not that it felt slow, but like we were talking earlier about the fact that there is no like tension or angst built up in this, and then there's the issue with the sex scene, and then the sex scene right after, like him reverting his stuff. Like there was no time to build that. His issue, like there's things that could have been done to make this so much better. Like we went in expecting high drama because telenovela, right? Yeah. We went in expecting it to be really fun, which it was, but there was so much that could have been done better. And I cannot get off the Yadiel being the issue. I hate that.
Yeah.
The kids, the family issues, the issue of the book. Like the whole time when Jasmine was complaining about the fact that like he didn't tell her, I just wanted to reach through the book and slap her because I'm like, it's not your choice.
Yeah.
His family. You have no right to be angry about this.
And I do think I feel like if it had some kind of like where we saw them in the future, like if it had come up later, maybe it would have been a bigger issue. Like I think like, if they were more serious, like an actual official couple or like, down the line, I think I would have understood it. Cause if I were dating someone for like, 6 months and then they didn't tell me they had a child, I would probably be irritated.
Oh yeah.
But not if I was only seeing someone for like a month.
What was the timeline on this thing?
It's pretty quick.
It very fast, but then all of a sudden the show was done. And I was like, wait, it takes months to film a show.
I think it was only supposed to be a pilot.
I think they did only 8 episodes.
It was like 7 or 8. So I thought it was like 2 months. That's what I thought. Like 2-ish.
It felt rushed in the timeline. The timeline wasn't right. The pacing was a little weird for me with the tension, like because it could have been done so much better to build the tension. And I went in expecting Jane the Virgin vibes. I didn't get any Jane the Virgin vibes.
I'm a massive Jane the Virgin fan, and I could see sort of what you mean, but
the fact that it's a telenovela, like that's the only thing that ties it together. Because I know, like with Jane the Virgin, her dad is a telenovela star, right? So you have that aspect built in, and it's like the high drama that comes with that. I don't know. I didn't get any of that from this book.
Yeah, I mean, in Jane the Virgin, I love it. And what's her dad's name? Rogelio? Is that what it is? He's the best. I love him so much. And I thought it was
drama from this.
Yeah.
There was no
Yeah.
stupid, ridiculous, over-the-top drama. It was just
Yeah.
there.
I will say that, Charles, I'm sure you listened to it too on audio, you said. I do think that sometimes books are different on audio, because there's been books that I've listened to that I've given like a higher rating because I loved the audio.
Because I think it's because I did this with Tweet Cute as well. You are so immersed in the story for such a fast, condensed time than if you were reading it physically, that you kind of miss the pacing stuff because you're just kind of consuming it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's being read to you. And like, if you're anything like me, I listen to audiobooks on double time speed.
Yeah.
So for romance books, you can get through them in like 4 hours. And it took me a few days to read this otherwise, right? So I don't know.
It's different. I do think, I mean, I love listening to audiobooks. And sometimes it makes me enjoy the book more. So
Yeah, for sure.
depending on the narrator.
But the high you come off of after reading a book. Like I find that like when I read the Lee Bardugo trilogy, Lee Grisha trilogy, I came off of each of those books being like, wow, this is so great.
Yeah.
And I rated them on like 4.5, 5 stars. And then like 2 days later, I was like, actually, they were kind of bad. Like they were not good. You just had a reader's high.
See, I was just thinking about that, and I actually really need to stop doing that because I go on Goodreads and rate it, or on NetGalley if it's an ARC, and then I'm like, oh crap. Like,
because I know like recently the books that I've read, I've thought about a lot. Like there's a book recently that I read called The 13th Tale by Diane Setterfield. And I absolutely adored that book. But I was reading it for a video, so I was thinking about it the whole time.
Yeah.
So I was like aware of it all the time. And I didn't have a book like that adrenaline rush that you do when you come off of some of the YA books. Yeah, Maya, I'm the same. I should start doing this. Like I should sleep on it and then rate it the next day, because even then.
Yep. Absolutely. That is my new, like, I'm trying to do that. So if someone sees me all of a sudden rate something and then change it, just know it's because I did not sleep on it like I should have.
See, I didn't mind the Grisha trilogy. To me, it's like a 3-star trilogy. I don't understand why people hate Mal so much. I also don't understand why people like the Darkling so much. He's trapped. Like, he's useless to me. Why? I don't get it. But also, Six of Crows, 10 times better. Like, holy 10 times better.
I haven't read any of them.
I think they're good if you ever want to read them.
Yeah.
I'm just reading the first of the Grisha trilogy because it explains the magic system.
Okay.
And then go to Six of Crows.
Do I have to read Grisha first, or can I read Six of Crows?
Because it's the magic system. You don't have to.
Okay.
But you're dropped into Six of Crows without knowing anything about the magic system.
Okay.
Like they don't explain it at all.
Okay.
So, but like the Grisha trilogy, like not the Grisha, the Six of Crows doesn't really have a lot of Grisha in it, who are the people who do magic, but it's in there. I don't know.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. I've seen the stuff for this show. But I haven't watched it. But if you liked it, I would for sure check out The Baker and the Beauty, because I'm always up for a good show.
Which isn't a typical ABC show.
Yeah, I saw like the commercials. That's the word I'm looking for.
I'm in. Is this like the Great British Bake Off? Because I'm in.
Well, it's like a fiction show, but maybe.
Oh, because that would be amazing. But yeah, Charles, you gave this 5 out of 5 stars, really?
I'd be okay.
Go for it. But like, okay. Because like when I think of my 5 out of 5 stars, I think of like Chloe Brown and like Beat Treat, and then I think of this, I'm like, no, it doesn't even compare.
I mean, to each their own.
Let's see. It's just because he's hot.
Except for the Grisha stuff.
Sure. Oh, the Darkling? Yeah. See, I don't get that either. He's creepy and kind of Predator-esque in the books. Don't like it.
Yeah.
But yes, read the Grisha verse first.
Maybe I'll try to get him on audiobook. Yeah.
What you want? I'm sorry. Yeah, if you want to read Six of Crows, if you ever do, read the first Grisha book. That's all you really need to do.
Okay.
Because that's where it explains the magic.
It's one of those books I owned for a really long time, and I finally unhauled a couple of probably a year ago, and then
I did that with the book recently. I did that with the Red Queen series. I had the first book on my shelves for literally 6 years, and I was like, I'm never gonna read this. So I unhauled it this year. And then I started following Victoria Aveyard, the author, on Instagram and her live streams and stuff.
Yeah, I think I follow her too.
Love her so much. I wait every day to watch her Instagram stories because I love her so much. And I'm like, wow, I really want to read her books now. So I had to go back and buy her.
I read Red Queen back when it first came out.
I really liked it.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
People hate on it. And I'm like, it's so good. I liked it. It's
I need to go back to it because it was one that I read, but then there was, I think, at least a year or two before the second book. And I am so bad. If there's more than 1 year between books, I feel like I just never get to the sequel.
You saw the 2 comments on the sequel for Red Queen, and now I'm scared.
Oh no!
For sequel, Red Queen is no.
I don't know.
Oh no!
How many books in that series are there? 3, 4. Okay.
4 and a novella.
Oh, see, I feel
I'm so excited for her new book because it's got pirates in it.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah,
I immediately pre-ordered that.
Yeah.
As soon as she put the pre-order links in her story, I went to Indigo and pre-ordered it. And it's coming out in May 2021. I'm like, I am so excited for this.
Yeah. There's a few new fantasy type books that I'm really, really stoked for.
I bought them yesterday. I bought Raybearer and Legendborn. I'm so excited about Legendborn. It is a King Arthur retelling.
It's a what?
King Arthur, basically.
I didn't know that. It's on my list to buy. I haven't bought it yet, but I have been studying it.
It's
I really want to read. It sounds so good.
I also picked up Raybearer, which is such a cool. The cover is so beautiful, and I've heard. Don't quote me on this, but I've heard that the main character is Ace, which I have never read in a fantasy book before.
Interesting.
So I'm so excited about it no matter what because I've heard fantastic things about it.
Yeah. I have this whole list of books that I want to read, but I'm really bad about buying fantasy and then not reading them. So I'm trying to get through a few of the ones that I've got. I'm reading the Caraval trilogy and then I'm like, that's done.
Yeah.
And then I need to move on to something else. Yeah.
You gotta get your fantasy books from the library because my friend today, she's like, I always buy my sci-fi books, but I always take out my literary fiction books from the library. But because she's like, I'm not a biggest fan of literary fiction, and I love sci-fi. But then I read my literary fictions more than I do my sci-fi because there's a time limit. That's so smart. It's like reverse psychology.
Yeah. Well, and I was really good before.
Oh no. It's fine. I'm gonna like it anyways because I don't have high expectations for this series. Just
go into it. You'll be fine.
Anything with pirates. I've never read anything with pirates. I'm so excited.
I read what's that series by Trisha Levenseller? The Daughter of the Pirate King.
Yes.
And the second one, I really liked those. Those were really fun YA. If anyone is looking for one that had
really mixed things about that one. I don't know why.
They're not super high fantasy or anything, but it's if you want a lot of pirates and a really cute love story.
There Will Come a Darkness is with that 5 point of view.
I have not read.
I read There Will Come a Darkness last year. Let me just make sure it's the right one.
By YA fantasy. See, the really high usually isn't my thing.
Typically. I love high fantasy, and I have yet to come across a good YA high fantasy. There will come a darkness.
What's the difference? What makes something high fantasy versus regular level fantasy?
It's the political aspect and the world aspect. So you have Game of Thrones.
Okay, so that's
Lord
high.
of the Rings. You have a massive world where you are dealing with the political movements of many, many different characters and
Okay.
kingdoms. There's in the instance of Lord of the Rings, you have elves and orcs and all these typical, really often found in high fantasy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like think of like the big boy. I keep looking around like I have my books magically appear around me. I don't. The really big one. The Priory of the Orange Tree. A really big brick.
What is it?
Priory of the Orange Tree.
Oh, yeah.
Which is high fantasy because it follows just like the kingdoms, right?
Yeah.
And then when you have YA fantasy is typically magical set with just like one or two characters. Like I'm thinking like An Ember in the Ashes, where you have like the two characters from different worlds and they come together and it's more focused on them, and then it has the romance aspect into it. And it's not necessarily high world building.
Okay.
But I actually found There Will Come a Darkness didn't have good world building. I didn't find it high fantasy.
I think I've tried. See, my thing is I typically watch the high fantasy and read the regular fantasy.
Because I was talking about this about sci-fi. I need one character in a big world to latch onto to then understand the big world.
Yeah.
If you read a book that like talks about an entire galaxy of people, I'm not gonna understand or really care about any of the characters. I don't know.
Yeah,
The book wasn't that great.
read the book, so I cannot.
It wasn't that great. Like it was okay when I read it. It wasn't like it didn't blow me away. It didn't have anything that new about it. I don't know. YA fantasy has been disappointing me a lot recently. Did your cat just hit this?
Yes, she did. She's like, okay, you've been talking long enough. Like, I need some attention.
Yeah, I like There Will Come a Darkness. I was interested in reading the sequel, but I think I would have to reread the first one to go into the second one because I don't remember anything about it, other than the fact that I was like about it. It's also like the Crown of Feathers book. Like it's the Crown of Feathers was an interesting concept because it was new concept that I had never heard of, which was Phoenix. Right?
What is that book called that you guys are talking about?
There Will Come a Darkness.
I'm just gonna look it up now because I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. It was okay. I wasn't surprised by anything. I think it's because I've read too much YA fantasy in my life.
Let's see. Oh, that's a very dark cover.
But I saw the paperback before. It's yellow.
What? Really?
Designed, but yellow and white.
Oh, I like that. This one on Goodreads is like black and red.
Yeah, it's a really cool looking cover. And it sounds really cool because you deal with like 5 different people from all around the like the kingdom or whatever. There's a really magic system with that one too. I read it around the same time that I read The Merciful Crow, and I remember like the magic system in The Merciful Crow, I liking it a lot more because it was more different than that one. And I don't know, The Merciful Crow just blew me away. So maybe that was why it overshadowed it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was around the same time.
I feel like I kind of have to go back and forth. Like if I'm gonna read some kind of fantasy, I usually have to read at least a 1 or 2 romances or something lighter. Yeah, it's not even like that. It's just I don't know.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll read a couple in a row, but I also can't read 2 at the same time. Like I can.
If they're different enough.
Yeah, it depends on the book, but usually I'll read like a fantasy and like a romance, or a fantasy and like some kind of contemporary something. Which is the same reason if you're reading like 2 historicals at the same time, I start like combining things. I'm like, wait a minute, was that from this book or was that from this book? You know? So, I guess we should say too. You guys are on the outs now, man.
Flip my desk. I just like honestly, The Merciful Crow, I went in with really low expectations because I heard around the really big fantasy booktubers that they just didn't really like it that much. And then like a few of the romance booktubers read it and liked it.
Really?
And I was like, okay, like I know like Katie, I don't remember her channel name. A girl named Katie. I don't think it was her, but
Oh.
she like likes the romance fantasies a lot.
Yeah, me
And
too.
she read it and really liked it.
Oh, good.
There's
I'll add that one to the list.
not a huge romance in it. There is a romance, but
Okay.
it's not like the center plot kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was so cool, and it was such a surprising 5-star for me that I was blown away. And I have the sequel on my shelves waiting for me to read it. But I just
Oh, I like
it's
the
so
cover.
cool. And like the magic system deals with teeth.
Tea.
Teeth.
Like drinking tea.
Like
Oh, tea. I thought you said tea.
teeth.
Oh, that's even weirder than the tea one.
Because like from what I remember, like there's castes in this kingdom and they're all like dedicated by birds kind of thing. So,
Okay.
like the high ones are like the phoenixes, and then like there's a whole bunch of little ones, and then like hawks and owls and whatever. And then the
Yeah.
lowest ones are crows. And the crows are the ones that deal with the dead. They're the ones who get
Oh.
called if someone dies in the kingdom with the plague, because there's a plague going on, which is highly topical. But I read this before quarantine. And I read it last summer, and it is so cool because all of these casts have different kind of magic. That's what like each of the casts kind of does. Like I believe the Phoenix cast is like fire magic, that kind of thing.
Okay.
It's accessed through their bodies or whatever, but crows don't have their own kind of magic. They can access any kind of magic through the teeth of the other people.
This is very complicated.
It's so cool.
It is
And it
cool.
has, like the main character, I don't really remember her name because again, my book retention memory very terrible. But like she has the ability to use these teeth as her like power or whatever. She can use any of the
Did you say they're the bottom? Like the crows are the bottom of the caste system?
they're treated like dirt. Like the whole kingdom hates them.
Which makes no sense if they can access all this magic, though, right?
But they it's
I'm
because
sure it's explained.
they deal with the dead, right? They're
Right.
like their own people.
Okay.
So I don't know. It's really cool. I think it has maybe it's not just teeth, but that's how she accesses it. I think it's bones in general.
Interesting.
Like the magic is in the bones kind of thing, but
Yeah.
like teeth is the easiest to access from people's mouths, right? Because I think that's how they get paid too from the plague. They like if, as they get people, they gather people or whatever, they get paid through the teeth of the people.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. I loved it, and I need to reread it before I read the next one. But like, surprising 5-star for me.
Okay, awesome. Well, I'm gonna have to check
Yeah.
that one out. I just added it on, or I think I added it on Goodreads.
Us just telling each other what to read. This is great.
Yeah, I know.
Like I was gonna say, we don't know what our next book is gonna be.
Oh, I mean, so Jen, I did talk to Avery, who's not here tonight. She said she picked the one that she would like to read because we were leaving it to Avery because we couldn't decide.
It's also on her channel, so we figured.
Yeah. So she really wanted to read Awakened. Are you okay with that?
That's the one that you sent in the group chat?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm down.
It's kind of the more like, I think it might be indie published.
Probably.
But you might have to read it on you have a iPad or Kindle, right?
Yeah, this one by Moni Boyce.
Yeah.
Got a person
Boyce.
We love to see it. I actually saw after you sent this, I saw, okay, so we're going to read this one for October.
Yeah, for October. We thought it'd be fun. It's supernatural. I think it's something with witches. And I actually saw this on, it was on Izzy's channel, Happy for Now. She was talking about some like paranormal books. And so shout out to Izzy because I was writing all of them down. So I don't know if there's audio. Charles,
do you have unlimited? Check because I don't.
Do.
Okay.
Is it expensive for you though, Jen?
I just have never needed it because I don't
listen. No. I mean like the book if you just have to buy it.
Oh, let me check.
Yeah. It is on KU. If anyone has KU. Oh no audio. What? I'm sorry, Charles.
Awakened.
Yeah. I feel like
it's actually like only $13 paperback.
Oh.
Out of stock, damn it. Oh no.
Oh, out of stock.
But it's also available on Kindle, so like that's fine.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, we kind of wanted to pick something kind of supernatural for for the month, since we're going to do it in October.
Mhm.
And we really haven't done anything paranormal, have we?
I think it was the last October where we read the fantasy romance with the Jester one.
Oh yeah, that was kind of fantasy like. Yep.
Yeah.
So it's also really short. Yeah, I just saw Charles said that. It's because I think hopefully no one hates me for this, but I think it's one of those ones where, because it's indie published, there's like 3 or 4 of them, and so I think each one is only like 150, 160 pages.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we could only read the first 2. We need to continue.
I need to pull it up again because I don't remember the Moni what voice?
Boyce, Boice. I was just really intrigued by the synopsis. Like, it sounded really good. So
it's on Scribd.
yeah, and I also think even if there's 4 books, they're really short, so you can kind of like
on Scribd. 221 pages. It's like it takes apparently 3 hours to read.
Okay. That's pretty.
I don't think it's on like as an audio, but all of the titles are on Scribd if anybody else has Scribd.
Oh, there you go.
I've had Caesar salad for dinner and
yeah, so it's like kind of something different. We also haven't done too many like indie authors, so
no, I think
we've done a couple. We did R.S. Gray. Yeah, we did R.S. Gray, and we did the one with the Jester, Natalia. What's her last name?
Yeah,
I don't remember her last name, but her. I think those are the only 2 we've done there.
I think her name is Jaster, which is funny.
Yeah, I think it is, right?
Jester.
So, woohoo, I'm excited to read this one.
Yeah, it looks cool and it sounds cool. And I remember like within a few days of you saying that, I saw someone on Instagram was starting to read the second one because they really liked the first one a lot. And I was like,
oh, good. Yay. Yeah, it had pretty good reviews too.
Yeah.
I looked at that on Goodreads too, just to make sure.
Hey, Charles, does it say that it's in stock on your Amazon? Because on .ca, it's not in stock, which makes me sad.
That's really sad.
I don't know why I'm asking you this as I'm typing it in.
But yeah.
Can I buy it?
Did you?
$12.98 shipping. Never mind.
Oh, is it on stock? In stock?
It's in the American one.
Oh.
But it's shipping.
Can you do both? You can have it shipped from here?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You can order from any Amazon. My friend's mom accidentally ordered from Germany's Amazon, and it was like $60 shipping. Yeah, you can order from anywhere. So like when I was ordering your like gifts and stuff, I had to make sure that I was ordering from mine because I forgot that there's a conversion rate.
I had to do the same thing when I ordered because I had to order from the Canadian one. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, we have enjoyed chatting.
Yes, the next one, we don't know when it'll be. It'll be in October for sure.
Yeah.
And it'll be on Avery's channel. She's not here right now because she had a prior engagement, but it'll be on her channel. She's the one who's like, we started this on her channel.
Yeah.
Avery loves books, I think.
Yeah, Avery loves books. Yeah, we're probably like mid to end of October.
Yeah, mid to end. Usually we do beginning, but I guess it's like maybe like
I feel like we don't have time to do beginning just because it's already like the middle of September.
Maybe I'll discuss it with her to see how she feels about pushing it to the beginning of November because I know she's also in university.
Yeah.
So
I'm totally fine either way. Or if she wants to do it at the beginning of October, it's a quick book too. So
we shall see.
I do not mind. Stay tuned.
It'll be announced not only on all of our Instagrams, but on the Twitter account. I forgot the word for it. The Twitter account that is run by me.
Thanks, Jen.
Because I'm the only one who retweets the tweets.
No. All right. Well,
I'm trying to find the book on Scribd.
Oh.
Well, my Scribd is not loading.
Okay. Alrighty. Huh?
I'm excited to read that
Oh,
one.
yes, I am too. I'm very excited.
Yes.
I think it's going to be really good, and I'm very excited, and I think it looks different. So, woohoo!
Yeah, I'm here for witchiness.
Yeah, it's
That'll
the
be
spooky season, people. I'm excited.
spooky season.
Yep, which is funny because I don't like anything scary, but I like the idea of like supernatural stuff. So,
Yeah, like give me all of the vibes of the spooky,
yeah,
like Halloween Town, but don't give me the
yes,
scary. I don't like scary. I'm
that's my
sure
level of.
people need to follow our Twitter.
I just don't go on Twitter anymore. It's giving me anxiety. So,
That makes total sense. Twitter is
yeah.
kind of a terrible place to be right now.
Yeah, I just it's funny though because I get like the emails about like notifications. So I'm like, how do I turn that off?
How do I get out of it? We are on Twitter. Let me put it in the comments here. At book. Nope. That is our Twitter handle.
Yep.
A lovely book club. Because we couldn't like I think Avery couldn't get the lovely ladies,
Yeah.
which is sad, but
Hmm.
Charles. Charles is immediately in my DMs. You didn't like Meryl Cohen Darkness. I did like it. It just didn't surprise me.
Oh, that's so
Anyways,
funny.
thank you guys for coming to my channel and
Yes.
having a conversation with us. This is great.
Very nice to see everybody, and we'll see you next month.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.